it's Mike, and I'm back with another video, and I'm really excited about this one. It is a couple days past Halloween, and this is going to be a video dedicated to a band that you may have mixed feelings about, but that I really like, Limp Bizkit. So Limp Bizkit just released their new album, Still Sucks, on Halloween. And it's their first album in 10 years. So I was pretty stoked. I grew up on Limp Bizkit. I've been, listening to their music for a while. I know some people might think that's really dumb and that I'm crazy, and that's just kind of normal. With Limp Bizkit, you either hate them or you love them. And I love them. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to just go through my Limp Bizkit music collection, physical music collection, and just give a little background on each album and talk about the band a little bit, talk about the new album. So we can go ahead and get started. And yes, for some of you, physical music is a real thing. We don't just, back in my day, we didn't just download music or stream music. You actually had to go to the record store or to Best Buy or wherever and pick up a physical copy of the album. And to me, that's just what music is all about. In buying a band's album, is it's an experience. You get to experience the band, experience the album, kind of escape into the album, so to speak. But it just takes listening to that album to a whole new level. And so I do collect a lot of physical music for all the bands and musicians that I like. And since Limp Bizkit just came out with a new album on Halloween, I thought this is a great time to just start going through my music collection and sharing it with you guys, and hopefully inspiring some of you to go out and buy some music, and hopefully just making this entertaining for other people that love music, and in this case love Limp Bizkit. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first one in my collection is $3 bill, y'all. See that okay? So this is Limp Bizkit's first album. Came out in 1997 on Flip Interscope Records. And it's hard to believe sometimes that Limp Bizkit's first album was in 1997. I don't think a lot of people know that, but that's pretty interesting to me when I stop and think about it. So $3 bill, y'all. Go ahead and open it up. So that's what the physical CD looks like, in case you were wondering. That's what the inside looks like. Give you a better view there. And that's part of the cool thing about buying physical music, in my opinion, is there's artwork and there's stuff about the record that you just don't get when you buy digital and when you stream it. One of those things is the booklet. So you obviously have the album cover there. You can open it up, get some artwork. Yep, and then same with the back. Yeah, and Limp Bizkit, actually prints their lyrics inside their booklets a lot. On this album, they only put a few of the lyrics from each song in here. It's not like the full written lyrics for the song. And it also obviously tells you who's in the band. So we have Wes Borland on guitar, DJ Lethal on the turntables, Fred Durst on the mic, John Otto on the drums, and Sam Rivers on bass. And Limp Bizkit's actually kind of an underrated band. Again, I think you love them or you hate them, and I think some people hate them because of Fred Durst, but not the actual music. But anyway, some singles off this album. Everyone knows the Faith cover of George Michael, I think, did Faith. And so Limp Bizkit covered that. And also Counterfeit. Counterfeit, good track. Not a lot of people know about it. It actually came out before Faith. And then I think the other one is Sour, which, that's a good track too. This is a good record. It's pretty heavy, and there's a lot of hip hop and metal blended together. really well on this record. It just kind of sounds, man, like just unpolished, so to speak, but it's a good listen. I really like it still. So that's $3 bill, y'all. And then next, Significant Other, Limp Bizkit's second album. This came out in 1999, June of 99. I want to say June 21st because it was summertime, and I just vividly remember when this album came out. It was huge out here. And what's funny is my wife was telling me that where she was from growing up, Limp Bizkit wasn't that big. And that's just so funny to me because Limp Bizkit was huge where I was growing up. Maybe they weren't big where you were, or maybe they were big. Kind of interesting. But this is probably, I might say it's my favorite Limp Bizkit album. It's a pretty good album, start to finish. Really a good blend of hip hop. There's the CD, and rock again. I'd say it's not nearly as heavy as $3 bill, y'all, but it's just it's got a different vibe, and it's just really good. There's a lot more melodic stuff with like rearranged. There's a booklet. Yeah, and then just some more artwork side there. They actually printed the lyrics for full lyrics for every song in here. And then some thanks. You know, that's big with bands. They always like to thank people important to them. Thank God for their blessings whenever they made records. So that's always kind of cool. But yeah, this record is just really good record in my opinion from start to finish. I think it's the record that Limp Bizkit took the most serious because it's not really like funny. Some of their stuff you can kind of tell that's like funny or they're joking or trying to be obnoxious sometimes, but this one I don't get that vibe here. And so, you know, a lot of good songs on here. Nookie was the first single released and it was huge. And a really good track in my opinion. Good bass line, good drums, you know, good lyric or good you know, vocals from Fred Durst there. And Break Stuff was another record, or excuse me, another single off the record. And then Rearranged, like I just mentioned, that has some more melodic stuff added to their record. And just a really good track. And that car alarm finally went off. And then End Together Now with Method Man, really cool track, total hip hop track, not really any kind of rock you know, influences there, but really good track in my opinion still. Yeah, just a good record. So Significant Other, Limp Bizkit's second album. All right, they're up next. Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water, released in 2000. So just a year after Significant Other. Really good album too, in my opinion. This is the toss-up for me between Significant Other as far as what's my favorite Limp Bizkit record. There's the back. Really good album. A lot of rock and hip-hop influences as well. I think they did a really good job too of mixing those two genres. A lot of melodic stuff again from the Bizkit. And yeah, you know, I heard that Fred Durst is supposed to be the Chocolate Starfish, and the band is the Hot Dog Flavored Water, but who knows? And I always thought this picture right here was really cool behind the CD. It's just the band in the studio, you know, just jamming or recording the album. Who knows? But I just always thought that was a cool picture. And then again, you get a booklet here that, you know, the cover is kind of weird, but I mean, it's Limp Bizkit, so it's unique. Again, more lyrics and you know, photos and thanks from the band. I always like these photos. You know, I always like when bands throw in their booklet just random photos of them, you know, just doing their thing, kind of being real, recording music. I feel like it lets you get to know the band and the artists on a little bit different level when you can kind of look at pictures. You know, a lot of these pictures just look like pictures that I would have floating around my house, or probably, you know, anyone has. So yeah, I always thought that was cool. Yeah, so I know they released My Generation and Rolling, you know, at like the same time when this came out. It was 2 singles at once, which I thought was really strange when it came out. I don't remember anyone ever doing that. But if you know another artist or band who did, go ahead and throw it in the comments. Let me know, because I'd be curious and interested to know. Take a Look Around. That's a really cool track on here. That was actually released before this album, and it was a single that Limp Bizkit did for the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack. It's actually the theme from Mission Impossible, it's a really cool theme and a really cool song. So that's probably my favorite song on here. And then, like I said, it was released before this album, and then when this album came out, they threw it on here, which I thought was really cool, because otherwise you had to go buy the single for Take a Look Around, which I had back in the day. Unfortunately, it's not part of my collection, but that's the beauty of collecting. You can collect them, and it never really ends. So what else came off of this? Oh, Boiler, that was a cool track. That was a really cool track. My Way, I mean, it's all right. It's a Limp Bizkit song. It's not one of my favorites, but it's okay. And then there's actually another version of Rollin' on here. So the way I look at the Rolling tracks is there's like a rock version, which was released as the single, and then there's the hip hop version, which has, I think, Redman, Method Man, and DMX. Both are really cool. I prefer the rock one. You know, honestly, it kind of depends on my mood, but I would say, yeah, I do lean towards the rock one. Next up is New Old Songs. So this came out, when did this come out? 2001. And again, all these releases so far have been on Flip Interscope Records. Yeah, this is just a remix album. Was it? Yeah. 01. Yeah, so a remix album a year after Chocolate Starfish. You know, honestly, this album it's okay. I don't really give it a lot of listens to. There's a few songs on here that are okay. There's the CD. And then, you know, nothing, no picture behind it. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of these tracks. One track I do like is the My Way DJ Lethal remix, which is track 10 on here. But yeah, a small booklet in here. Just basically, not a lot of pictures, but basically just telling you who remixed a particular track, and, you know, who produced it, the engineer, things like that, what they sampled. So kind of interesting. I always thought this was interesting right here. It said, new Limp Bizkit record coming in 2002. Never happened. Didn't happen in 2002. But yep, so that's New Old Songs. Again, these are just remixes of songs from their previous 3 records. So stuff off $3 Bill, Y'all, Significant Other, and Chocolate Starfish. And then next up is Results May Vary. And just like the title track says, or the album name says, you know, results do vary with this one. This is kind of like Metallica's Saint Anger or Megadeth's Risk. You know, it's very like you love it or you hate it. Even for Limp Bizkit, you love or hate Limp Bizkit, and then within Limp Bizkit, you love or hate this album. This came out in 2003, and this actually has a different guitarist. Wes Borland had left the band, I think, in 2002, and they went out, and I believe they got Mike Smith, is his name, guitarist from Snot, and then they recorded this. So this particular release is a 2-disc, and so I'm just gonna, so there's the CD, which is the album, and you know what this picture is actually like if you're looking down on a prescription bottle, and I think that's also where Fred got maybe some inspiration for the album title, because I think on a lot of prescription bottles it does say like results may vary. Who knows, you know, but it is a fitting title for the album. And then there's a DVD that came with this release, you know, some footage of the band and stuff. But most people I talk to don't like this album, but I actually like it. There's a booklet, again, just get song names and lyrics, some pictures through there. Yeah, there's Sam Rivers, bass player, John Otto, picture of the band, you know. Yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff on here. So if you haven't really given it a listen, I would go through, give it a chance. It is one of those albums that I think has to grow on you. It did on me. I didn't like it really at first. But some notable tracks on here. I mean, the singles were Eat You Alive. I wasn't the biggest fan of that song, honestly. It's kind of cheesy, in my opinion. And then Behind Blue Eyes, which is the Who cover. That's a really good song. A lot of people actually kind of, don't like that song, kind of, give Fred Durst a hard time for making that cover, but I think it's really good. Down Another Day is really good. Build a Bridge, and Creamer, Radio is Dead, Lonely World. Yeah, there's some good stuff on this album, so give it a shot. And try not to go into it with any expectations. I think when a lot of people just can't stand an album from a particular band, it's because they're maybe thinking that it's supposed to sound like their previous albums, and they go in expecting that. But if you just listen to it for what it is, just a Limp Bizkit album, it's pretty good. But results may vary. Next is The Unquestionable Truth Part 1, which is an EP. So this is not a full-length album. This came out in 2005, and Wes Borland actually came back to the band for this. But I think John Otto, the drummer, wasn't... I think he played on one song on here, and they had to get a different drummer because, I don't know, he had some other issues, personal issues going on or something. But, so there's the CD. Yep, and there's 7 songs on here, and I think the only single from this was The Truth, which honestly is a cool song. It's got a nice intro, cool guitar riff, and a nice build up to where the whole band just kind of comes in finally, and it's just gets you really amped up. It's a cool song. There's the booklet, and this is very simple. No pictures, nothing. Just lyrics in here. I heard that Fred Durst and Wes Borland had different ideas about what to do with this record as far as like promoting it and marketing it and stuff. And I think Wes wanted to really give it a lot more exposure and attention and do kind of more the traditional promotion for the album. And Fred wanted to not do anything. And I think they went with Fred's strategy because I don't remember any kind of advertising or promotion or anyone talking about this coming out. When it did, I was at the record store and I saw it and I was like, what? A Limp Bizkit record? Okay, cool. So, I got it and it's not bad. It's not bad. So, this is an EP 2005, Wes Borland's back, give it a listen. Not a lot of people know about this Limp Bizkit release. Let's see, all right. Next we have Limp Bizkit Greatest Hits, also released in 2005. A lot of times with Greatest Hits records, you never know, like if it was a forced release by the band contractually to kind of get out of their record deal and, just go on hiatus or do something else for a while. Or maybe it's a legitimate, hey, let's put out a Greatest Hits and, use it as an opportunity to, release some new tracks at the same time. I don't know what Limp Bizkit did, but it seemed kind of forced, honestly. It was in the same year as that EP, Unquestionable Truth. And I mean, there are some unreleased tracks on here. Why, Lean on Me, and then Home Sweet Home, Bittersweet Symphony. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. Very, kind of boring packaging here. There's the CD. And then inside, not quite sure what theme they were going for with this. Again, don't know if this was like a forced release by the band, but booklet and just lyrics. stuff. So, yeah. Interesting thing is it has Build a Bridge on here from Results May Vary, but that wasn't released as a single as far as I'm aware of, and nobody really knew about it, so I just thought it was funny they threw that on a Greatest Hits. But I like that song, so I did like it anyway. But okay, next up, 2011's Gold Cobra. So this was their first record in 6 years, and they had everybody from the band back. They had, you know, Wes Borland, John Otto, Sam Rivers, DJ Lethal, Fred Durst, and so it was kind of a big deal when it came out. You know, it's a decent record. There's some good songs on here. So there's the CD. There's the artwork. I mean, the artwork's kind of interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Again, seems kind of weird and cheesy to me. But again, that's Limp Bizkit. That's what you get sometimes. So open up this. Again, more pictures. And yep, some lyrics. I like that picture of Sam right there, jamming with the bass on stage in front of a big crowd, man. Love it. DJ Lethal, the turntables, Fred Durst. Yeah, you know, my favorite song on here is probably Walking Away, the 8th track. That's a cool song. You know, and on that note, throw in the comments for, you know, what's your favorite song off of all these records. You know, I'm kind of curious to know, because I obviously know what mine are, and I'm always wondering, like, do other people go this deep in the catalog, or does everyone just kind of like the radio singles? So throw them in the comments from each album. Really curious to know. And there was something in here from Fred Durst that I thought was really cool inside this booklet. If I can, I think it was in here. Yeah, it's just basically Fred talking about how grateful he is for the fans and being able to make this record, and all of his blessings. And I just thought that was really cool. You know, people give Fred Durst a hard time a lot, but I think deep down he's a genuine dude. At least from the very little I know about him, but from his music and his writings and his interviews I've seen, he seems like a genuine guy. And I just thought it was cool that he was really appreciative of everyone to be able to go ahead and put this album out, because yeah, that's always cool to see. But that's Gold Cobra. And then this next one is my gem of my Limp Bizkit collection. So this is Significant Other on vinyl. This is really cool. So I started getting into collecting vinyl because picked up a record player, and a lot of bands were releasing stuff on vinyl, and you know, they made different colored vinyl. And I just thought the packaging, and it was cool, and it's so much bigger, you know, the actual vinyl in the case. So the artwork just kind of, you see it from a different angle, so to speak, which I just thought was really cool. But this is a 2 vinyl release. So to fit every track on here, I had to release it on 2 vinyls. So this is what it looks like, and I thought that was really cool that it, you know, it kind of looks like the CD. It's got that same sticker on it, except it's vinyl. So that's really cool. That's the only Limp Bizkit vinyl I have right now. I am always looking for copies of the other stuff, but believe it or not, they are really hard to find at a good price. You can find them out there, but the price is, you know, not really what I'm looking for. So, you know, it's hard to find. But that's my gem. And then lastly, I do have to talk about this. And here's the new album. And, you know, one thing, and I'm not knocking digital, but there's no physical release of this, which I was kind of bummed about. I spent a couple days looking for where to get a CD, hoping there was a vinyl to purchase, and nothing. It was just digital. So here's the new Limp Bizkit record. Still sucks. And honestly, my thoughts on this, I actually like it. I think it's a better record than Gold Cobra and probably even Unquestionable Truth, that EP. Definitely those two. And I have a couple critiques of it though. It's just really, really short. It's like 32 minutes long, and every other Limp Bizkit album's over an hour long. And I was just hoping, that wanting more. After listening to this album, I got through it and I was like, that's it. I went over to pick up a pizza and back, and I had finished the record in that amount of time, which, this pizza place is right down the street. It's not very far. So that's the only not the only critique. The other critique is there's no physical copy. So Limp Bizkit, if you actually see this video, please release a CD or a vinyl copy of this record so that people like me can put it in their collection. Plus I think it's worthy of it. It's a decent record. Probably my favorite songs on here are Don't Change is pretty good, and You Bring Out the Worst in Me I thought was pretty good too. And then the opening track, Out of Style, that's pretty good. So it's got some good songs on here. So if you haven't given it a chance, download it and listen to it, and also put in the comments what you think are your favorite songs off here. If I had to pick my favorite, I'd probably go with Don't Change. Honestly, it was between Out of Style and Don't Change, or actually Dad Vibes too. I'll throw that in there, but I think Don't Change was my favorite. But that might change the more I listen to it. I think I've only listened to this like 3 times so far, this whole album. But yeah, get it, listen to it, and let me know in the comments, what your favorite song is. So that's it for the Limp Bizkit collection tonight. Hopefully you guys found this a little informative, and you appreciated learning about some Limp Bizkit albums and a little Limp Bizkit history. And hopefully you go out and get their new album and give it a listen. And if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And I'll be posting more videos. So thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. God bless.